Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss, all right. Nice and adult. Chris.
Jack London in big print for the older reader.
I think I understand that. Sandy?
Joy Francis.
Oh, right, sort of school story, is that?
Yes, what Biddy got up to at Greystone.
Yes. Well, interesting. And John?
The monologues of Alan Bennett.
Alan Bennett. Jolly good, like Alan Bennett. Now, what we'd like is, from somebody in the audience, a title for the story, something nice and exotic and interesting. More interesting in complete silence, for example.
Flash Gordon and the Icemen.
Flash Gordon and the Icemen. And somebody shouted Shangri-La.
Shogun of Shangri-La.
Oh, I wish you hadn't done that. let's who was it going to the Iceman?
Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon. Let's have Flash Gordon going to Shangri-La. Let's combine those two suggestions. Almost impossible to say. Where you go, Mike?
In Shangri-La, the Hiffledumps were jumping up and down. They knew that Uncle Flash Gordon was coming soon to town. They donned their heads with a la mode and pasted their buttocks blue, and leapt and cavorted and jumped up and down because of you-know-who. Black Jake, having jumped up and down, surveyed the jungles of Shangri-La and thought, what a bloody stupid place to bring a sled and some huskies. Mush, he shouted. It may be mush to you, shouted one of the huskies. But a lot of people appreciate this sort of sentimental rubbish.
When they'd finished eating their mush, Daffers and Georgina went up to the dorm. There they had a perfect view over to the boys' school and they could see Gordon. What was he up to? Well, no wonder everybody called him Flash Gordon.
I was just reaching over for the evap when my mother turned to me. She said, "You mustn't wear flashes on your socks, Gordon. It's common. It's what gypsy children do." I said, "How do you know about gypsy children? You've never met any." She said, "I read about them in the papers." I said, "We don't get the papers." I said, "Well, we will."
The papers came, the papers went, and so did Mighty Flash. The Hooscaloos and Waffalumps, hell cashed in on cash. They knew the fun was beginning. It was sure to be a cinch. For that day in the Huffalum Square, they were buggering the mighty Grinch. Black Jake strapped the Huffalump to his sled, and his shed. And, sweeping the Eskimo girl up into his arms,
The games mistress had spent altogether too long in the shed and everyone was wondering what she was doing in there. "Come on out, the lashings of ginger beer," they said. "Oh, never mind the ginger beer," she said. "Let's just have the lashings."
She said, "Have you seen to the dahlias?" I said, "What?" I said, "Have you seen to the dahlias?" She said, "Well, just give him a splash." I said, "I'm not giving him a splash, they want a good drink." She said, "Speaking of which," I looked the other way.
All right, thank you very much. Well, I think that was a difficult title we came up with it, but you coped with it averagely, so I'll give you 5 points each. Now we're on to a game called Film and Theatre Styles. They break into pairs for this. First of all, John and Chris, can you step forward? I'm going to give them a situation to improvise in just a second. But first of all, can we have some film or theatre styles for them to break into?
Carry on, five.
Oh, hang on, you're coming in.
Oscar Wilde.
Hang on, Hammer, Horror, Burke... Oh, what did I once?
Science fiction.
What was that? Bonnie and Clyde, Thunderbirds. I think we've done Thunderbirds. Romeo and Juliet. Is that a style? I mean, that's... Well, we're bunging a Roman epic just to beef up that. I think a lot of good versions there. But what I'd like you to do is to be a headmaster and pupil. And we're breaking some styles as we get to it. Okay?
I just wondered, sir, whether I could still do cookery in the fifth.
You're Philpot, aren't you? Philpot, the,
Fill the pot.
No, I know your name, sir. Your name is Philpot, isn't it?
Yes, it is Philpot.
That's
yes.
right. I never forget a face, you know. I've been at this school now for, Oh, God.
You're not answering my question, sir. I asked
I'm
about
sorry,
the cookery.
I never forget a face, but I often forget the questions.
You didn't forget me in the bedclothes last night.
Oh, that was you. Was that Philpot? Yes, of course.
You listening to the buzzer?
No.
Burkoff.
Burkoff. Oh,
Slits, come to school, come in this. Bits, flash, cat of a mother!
You may
Snatched from
come
the
to my
street.
school, you come to school in a Turkish bath manner, you come to school in a market manner, you come to school in my manner in the East End.
But have you
Understand?
ever played Adolf Hitler?
Don't hit me with your razor wit or I'll hit me with your razor. Adolf Hitler wrote I'm camp, if you don't mind.
Your cat, and I mind my mother.
Is my buzzer on strike, or are you playing in the manner of two deaf actors? Let's do Hammer Horror.
I invited you up here tonight because we've got a rather nice fire in this room and it's very cold and dangerous outside. Do you mind?
Excuse me, sir, I was rather wondering why I'm not allowed to wear any clothes at this school. It seems awfully cold. It's so cold here, and spooky.
What's this? It's a thermometer, isn't it?
Oh, my God, not the thermometer again, please, sir.
And fidget.
Roman Epic.
Are you coming into the capital later on? Well, I am a Roman, really, although I sound as if I come from Capuscasing.
That's okay, I'm from Sparta.
What's a Sparta there?
There's a Sparta on the ground. Now, what I want to know from you, young centurion,
Yeah.
is what you want to get out of this gladiator school. Was it executive skills or just killing people?
There she goes, Peleus. Is she not a goddess of the night?
She certainly is a Peleus.
Do a bit of Thunderbirds to end. Bit of Thunderbirds to end with.
Sorry, I just was going for a cigarette. It was sort of automatic.
I've asked you into the office. I've asked you into the office, Alan, because I want to know why my eyebrows are moving faster than... You're kind of a weirdo, aren't you?
Just a minute, I'll come over and see you.
Well, why not? I don't know if you've ever done Egyptian rap dancing before, but I'm just going to go and speak to Virgil. He's the very camp one with a 1966 haircut. Virgil, I'll be back in a minute. Did you know your brothers were hairdressers?
No. I'm just going to tie my shoe. I'll be right with you.
Wait, what did you...
Thank you. Thank you, and
This is the way I've always wanted you, Virgil.
right.
Stay there if you like.
No, carry on. I think my buzzer's got a sore throat this night. I'll give you 5 points each on that, I think. So now step forward Mike and Sandy for another session of improvising. I have acute hearing for this one. Now, can we have some more film and theatre styles, please?
Electric blue.
Electric Blue, is that a style?
What is that?
I have no idea. Film noir. Well, we're going the colours, are we, tonight? Film noir, electric blue. Snuff movie, that's great. Is that for the tobacco industry or something? Beach.
Jules Verne. On-the-wall documentary. Blues Brothers.
Right, okay. We've got a good one there. Good one there.
So far, there was one that I...
Let's start you off with Mike, you're going to be a boss falling in love with your secretary. And Sandy, you can pick a part to play in that.
I just sit down for a minute and just have a think about it. Okay.
Mrs. Alcove, come in here, please.
I'm ready for dictation when you are, sir.
Put down the paper and the pencil, Miss Alcove.
Oh, sir. Not against the filing cabinet again.
No. I print out a nice chaise lounge you can lie on. I want you to take a letter. The letter O.
Let's go into a fly-on-the-wall documentary.
Oh?
Oh? What is a fly on the wall?
Let's ask the fly.
Oh, pretty stupid people down there. Look at that secretary. She's falling for that fat guy.
So you just stuck in a larva for about 5...
All right, let's go into Tarzan.
Miss Alcove!
Me love you. Huh.
Me, boss! You get on couch. We make what banana love. After
Let's go for a beach movie now.
Hey! Woo! 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 Surfing into the office, boss.
Hey, Jet!
Afterwards, we'll stop. I'll get you a couple of moon burgers, you know.
Okay, here, catch these files.
Oops.
Hey, you want a hot dog?
All right. Oh, Daddy, cool. I'll tell you right now, I'm absolutely flipping giddy goo for you, man.
Oh, boy, this is the best day I've ever had. Did I said to myself this morning, this is going to be your lucky day.
It's a bit of film noir.
Yeah, the hell with the hot dog. So you come in here, you take my heart, and you step on it like a size 9 shoe. And then you think you want me to come back and love you? Well, I do, damn it, I do. You drive me crazy.
You know why? Because I stand here in this rather interesting shaft of light.
It gives your nose a particular kind of angle, a chiaroscuro of love that I just can't keep away from.
Cigarette?
Yeah, right in my eye. Ah!
All right, thank you very much. Let's end there, Phil. Yes, thank you, thank you. Righty-ho. I think double points for Mike McShane there. As we move on to a game called World's Worst, this features all 4 contestants, please, on the World's Worst step. And you've got to think of as many examples of the world's worst person to go up into space.
Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing we can do.
Of course, you know, this is the worst sort of job in the world, someone like me with a digestive tract like mine. I mean, got terrible attacks of flatulence.
Oh, look at that cosmonaut. Now, he is cute.
Cindy left me. I don't care if I die.
I think if we all stayed out here long enough, you know, we could just stay out here. And...
Because I haven't really had any unprovoked mood swings, but as long as I'm not... See, when I feel trapped, that's the only trouble, isn't it?
Watch this.
I don't know if you ever thought about giving your life to Christ, but I brought some pamphlets along.
While we're up here, I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about the Liberal Party and whether we should rename ourselves.
When I was a kid, we used to do it over the fence. Yeah, we can do it over the asteroids.
But I suppose, in a sense, we're all latent homosexuals, really, aren't we?
You know, I'm a poet that's been sent into space. Well, I've written the moon poem. We'll be on the moon soon.
Let's end on that poetic note. While I work out the points for that round, you have to go and see some advertisements. See you after that. Bye. Welcome back with the exciting news that 43 points were scored in that last game, but I'm not at liberty to tell you who I gave the points to. But now we come to a game called Props, breaking into pairs. First of all, we have Sandy and John. I've got to give you this item here. And no idea what that starts off in life as. And you've got to come up with many different ways of using it, at the same time as Chris and Mike are coming up with different ways of using this thing. And I'll buzz between the 2 pairs, as many we can get in the time. Fearful of this game, but anyway, where you go, John and Sandy.
Darling, I said you should have had a circumcision. This is ridiculous.
Well, that's awfully flattering, Eve. Thanks a lot.
I have never been on the Miss World competition before. I have no brain.
OK, now I'm just going to depress your tongue, Mr. McShane, so if you'd like to open very wide...
I don't know, Doctor. I think the one breast is so much bigger than the other.
And I'm going to it until I find it. The headband is open, cramming on the tree.
Thanks very much for coming to our political theatre. And remember, if we don't change our political ways, that's what's going to happen to us, man, right?
We have a completely camouflaged actor on the set. I will now point to him. He's over there.
This is a good...
I'm so delighted to be here at Ascot. It's absolutely lovely.
You wanted a larger dog. You wanted a larger dog.
It is the great eyeball that we pray to.
You're looking in my ear. Go ahead, say it.
Okay, let's end on that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Enough props.
I don't know if you think Robert Hardy's performance is even bigger than this cow's bottom, but,
Thank you. That's a brilliant last suggestion there, John. I have to disqualify you for acting after the bell. So there it is. So 95 points, everybody else. Now we come to a game called Film Dubbing. This will feature Chris and Sandy. If you'd like to come in a position where you can see the monitor there. And this is a film from which the soundtrack has been removed. You've got to add a new soundtrack for us, please. And can you play a situation there of a couple arguing over what to have for dinner?
I thought we'd start with something,
Oh, don't say, darling, I can't bear double-pan pizza again.
There's nothing wrong with it, for God's sake, it arrives...
Oh, it always makes you fart all night, the bed covers going mad.
No, it doesn't. Well, I like this cigarette. That'll take the smell away. Look, just don't... Careful of that hat.
Do you think it's rather clever, isn't it? I made it out of the old takeaway box.
Yeah, it's fantastic, darling, but let's talk again about that takeaway curry we had the other night, because...
Oh, no, that was a nightmare.
The future of our marriage is... Why are you walking away from me like that? Come back when I'm talking to you.
I can't stand that close to you after you've had curry.
Don't you
know
look at me with that handbag in your hand. I'll take that that bracelet. Who gave you that bracelet?
Oh, I got it with 4 tokens from a spaghetti jar.
Honestly expect me to believe that? You bitch, come here. I'll think of something to say to you in a minute when you look at me. That
oh, yes?
Ridiculous. Ew.
Oh!
Get out of my way.
Oh,
I'm going to the Pizza Hut, and I'll be back. Whose picture is this? It's you.
Stop it,
It's my picture. How dare you have my picture? Don't you know I'm a Muslim?
Right, okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, you get 62 points each there. Would have been more, but you used too much of the original soundtrack. Now we go to a game called Tag. This starts with Chris and John. So you'd like to step forward, and we're going to put them into a couple of positions between me and the studio audience. The others have to join in by shouting freeze and tapping somebody to make them leave, and they adopt the same position and start improvising in a new thing that they've thought of. It'll make sense when we get going. So first of all, can we just think of a position you'd like to have John Sessions in? not that... Yes. Sorry?
Standing on his head.
Standing on his head. Very, very amusing, but rather difficult. How about you lying down with your head on the ground? That'll be halfway around. And something slightly different for Chris.
Doing the splits.
Bending over on one foot. That's quite a... Bending over. Oh, don't get mad. And on. Well, that's it. Right. Okay. And away you go. Just think of something improvised from that position.
Anthony, do you know that the people downstairs have been making love to a Cornish Morris dance?
Well, I'm afraid that's not much use to a monoped like me, is it?
Well, it's safe, darling, but it's not much fun.
No.
Oh, come on, I'm not racing against a dead person.
I'm terribly sorry. I'm just driving along. I didn't even see the pedestrian crossing.
It's all right, actually. I'm usually run over for being very dull.
Are you? Oh, and sweaty.
And then in the... Oh, yes, I want to be... Sorry. I want to be here. And then in the... In the art of the...
I haven't got my scout badge yet, sir.
I'm tagging out.
Fine, okay. Yes?
But, Doctor, I'm sure the baby doesn't come out this way.
Just trust me. I want you to think of me as a doctor. I mean, of course, I am a doctor. Silly me.
Well,
no, just put... That's right, push.
Yes, is that better?
That's much better, thank you very much. And, of course, there will be no charge for this consultation.
I had nothing to say. I just had to do that.
Very much. Well, I think 6 points all around there. I think Mike may have just edged it with $1 million. So now we come to a game called Party Quirks. This is going to feature Sandy Toksvig as the hostess of the party. The others are going to be guests. If you look in the envelopes each of you have got in front of you, you'll see there's a strange quirk or way of behaving has been allocated to you based on suggestions made by the studio audience. Now, Sandy's got to guess what those are just by the way they're improvised. Okay, Sandy, you want to come forward ready? The others will be coming in the sound of the doorbell. First Chris, then Mike, then John. If you have to queue up ready to come into the pretend front door. Is the party started?
Yes! Oh, absolutely. We've got the most marvellous jelly. Wobbly, wobbly. Hello, come in. We're having wobbly, wobbly.
Oh, sorry. Could you run that by me one more time?
We're having wobbly, wobbly jelly, you know. It's my favourite. It's lime with mandarins.
Oh, bloody hell. I can't get my mind around that concept. Wobbly, wobbly jelly with
mandarin segments.
Mandarin.
Mandarin segments. If you do that, you see, you can do it a bit.
Why?
People don't say why to wobbly, wobbly.
Don't they?
Hello, we're having wobbly...
Excuse me, but what's he doing?
Mook looking talk about click. Bucket.
Oh, that's my neighbour. He's nice, isn't he?
I don't know. It seems a bit strange to me.
Yeah, well, do you want... Hang on a second. I'll just leave you that with that Eskimo pie there.
Eskimo, well done. I think you've got the guess there.
When two men are in a room in which a woman is present,
Oh, no, I've heard that one.
honor is frequently absent.
Yeah. It did make me laugh the first time I heard it. Did you want to
A
drink?
woman with a carpet on the floor rarely has one in the lampshade.
What's he on about? Yeah, look, can I ask you something?
Yes, go on,
There was
then.
a bloke here, he was quite big and now he's gone. What's going on here?
A big man who was in the room who is now gone. It's rather like a goldfish in a bowl that's still there.
What are you, you're some man who's obsessed with proverbs or something?
A woman who has lace round her neck is often laced round with necking gentlemen.
Sorry, but what does that mean? What does that mean? She keeps going like that and pointing.
Oh, you got a last guess on these two, Sandy?
Yes, well, I think he can't remember anything.
Can't remember anything.
I can remember everything, I just don't really understand what you're on about.
A man who remembers nothing is a man who remembers only his own feet.
Oh, I get nothing on Chris. He's somebody who can't understand anything, but what about John?
And I
fair
think he's a
enough.
man who speaks only in epigrams.
Epigrams, that's right, a society wit. That'll do, yes, very good. Yeah. I think I'll give you at least 2 points for that, Sandy. And just totting up the scores, I see, because that's the last game, that Mike McShane is this week's winner. So, well done, Mike. The price of winning is to read the credits in a style of my choosing, which for Mike this week will be to do it in as many foreign accents as possible. So it just remains for me to thank Mike McShane, Chris Langham, Sandy Toksvig, John Sessions, and me, Clive Anderson, saying good night. Good night.
Here's Lancy anyway. The Vasta Kebab by Dan Patterson, Mark Lipson, starring Clive Anderson and John Sessions and Philip Pop and Del Meno. Hey, no, Roy Steele and Richard Churchill are fine too. And once a night, Nicola Pulbrook and Sven Penderlock and Ivan Douglas and Sven... I'll tell you right now, boy, there's some Phil Paul's one fine filly. You gotta admit that right there. Christine Moses and Kerry Fletcher and John Halpin and Pip Gardner, Graham Story, Chris Bold, and now Nigerian click language.